Hi, babes. Welcome to another pick a card reading. Today, the topic is how does your family view you versus who you actually are. Okay, the difference between how your family views you and who you actually are. And I'm really excited to do this because I know that it's like, especially if you have childhood trauma, like this is actually a really helpful kind of topic because sometimes we get confused about who we are based on how our family perceives us, which may or may not be true. So, it is what it is. And before I get started, I want you guys to know that I am open for personal readings. And you can either email me, my email is in the description, or you can search my Etsy shop. It's called TheAllieStore. Okay. So, yeah, let's do this. We're going to be picking from spices today. And the first pile, you're going to be the cloves. If it'll focus. Yes, there we go. Cloves. And the second pile, you are going to be allspice. Allspice. And the third pile is going to be saffron in this little container. Saffron. Okay. So go ahead and pick your spices. Pick your spice. Okay. And we're gonna start with pile number 1. Okay, so pile number 1, if you chose the clove, then this is your pile. Okay, so let's tap into how your family views you. Okay, so how does your family view you, clove? How does your family view you? Your family might think you're weird or that your beliefs are weird. Your family might think you're witchy, okay? Your family might think you're witchy. Your family, okay? Your family might think that you do spells on them or something, or that you do weird witchy stuff that you don't actually do. Okay, and really take this as it resonates. Okay, if if this isn't your pile, if you don't resonate, then it's not your pile. Okay, but this is what I'm getting for you if you chose the clove. Let's see, how does your family view you? Your family is kind of scared of you or like intimidated by you. This is interesting. They don't really want to get on your bad side because they think you're gonna do some weird witchy stuff, or they think you're gonna do something vengeful or something. Let me see. Let me tap into this. How does your family view you, pile number 1? I don't know if you know this, pile number 1, but your family is actually really scared of you or intimidated by you. They know that you're powerful. Even if they don't tell you, I think they make it a point not to tell you or not to let you know how powerful you are or how scary you might seem to them. I think your family makes you out to be a bad guy or someone who doesn't really have good intentions or something. Again, I just feel like they're I don't know. They're very focused on thinking that you're scary to actually see you for who you actually are. You know what I'm getting is that, oh my God, you know that one meme? I don't know, I'm getting like this meme where the guy is like not necessarily chasing this woman, but this woman is so afraid of this man and is running away, and she's like screaming like ah, and you know the guy is like, why are you running, why are you running? And it's kind of like, I don't know, I think your family has this narrative of you that like, oh, I don't know, that you are this big bad boogeyman, right? When you're literally just existing and you're minding your business and you're probably in your own lane, to be honest. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Pile number one, I think your family might have underestimated you at first, or they might have mistreated you in some sort of way at some point. And I don't know if something happened that maybe like spooked them into thinking that you did whatever it was to spook them or something like that. I really don't know how to like word this or like explain what I'm getting here, pile number one, but it's like your family went from one extreme to the other in terms of their perception of you. They went from, oh, pile number one is harmless, but also like in a negative way where it's like, oh, we can do whatever we want to pile number one because they're harmless. And then they swung to the other end of the you know of their perception of you, thinking, oh my God, pile number one is so scary, like and this like metaphorically like, let's run from pile number one because they're so scary and they're just this monster, like, and it's like, okay, you probably didn't do anything. You might have been healing from your trauma, pile number one, or if you do have trauma, or if you probably have been healing from the perception that your family has of you, and you've been probably doing the work, and this has somehow been very intimidating. I think your family feels very seen by you. Okay. What's the word? I think they feel exposed by you. I think you doing the work, doing shadow work, makes your family feel exposed. I don't know if you like talk openly about, you know, childhood trauma or like family dysfunction, or you just tell them who they are to their face. I don't know, but they're just like, it really goes into this narrative that you're this like big scary thing, big scary monster, because you're honest or something, and they feel really exposed, or like you're poking at some sort of wound, you know what I'm saying? You trigger your family, pile number one. Sorry, I don't mean to be laughing. I just laugh a lot. But pile number one, I feel like I should fix my posture. I'm like halfway in the frame. Okay, let's see. Pile number one, how does your family view you? I'm just getting they're spooked. They're spooked. they don't know what to think about you. They're just kind of like spooked. And it's kind of like a sleeping bear. Like they don't want to wake you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're walking on eggshells around you. That's what I want to say, pile number one. Because they don't want to startle you or scare you or, again, be on your bad side in some sort of way, because they view you as this like scary, unforgiving, like monster or something. So let's see what else comes through. How do they view you, pile number one? How does your family view you? They think you're a lot more threatening than you actually are. Okay? Like, I don't know, again, with this message of, I don't know if they did something that wasn't the best. They did something that wasn't good as it pertains to you, and they're actually really afraid of that coming back to bite them somehow through the works of you, or even the divine, or like the universe or karma itself. I think they might be a little on edge about that, whether or not they admit that or not. But again, I'm just getting, they're spooked. I don't know if you did something. I don't know if the universe did something. I don't know if karma did something, but they're spooked, pile number one. Okay. They're spooked. Let me see who you actually are compared to how they view you, okay? So in comparison, the truth, what is the truth of who you actually are, pile number one? Pile number one, you're actually someone who has had to develop boundaries, particularly pertaining to your family or just in general. Like, you're someone who has had to fight through a distorted perception to get to the truth. You have fought your way to the truth of who you are. You are actually in touch with who you are, and like, you might be watching this reading just for fun, you know, just for funsies. But let's see, pile number one, who are you compared to how your family views you? I mean, pile number one, sorry if I said two. Pile number one, who are you? You know what is that, like, you know what spooks your family about you is the fact that they've put these limitations on you, right? They've tried, I want to say everything to keep you small or to keep you limited in your own perception of yourself, or they've tried to cage you in some sort of way, or they've tried to limit you, okay? However that resonates, okay? They've tried, but the thing is, you overcame this, like, it almost seems impossible the way that you overcame this limitation that they put on you. It almost seems miraculous. Okay, pile number one. And the fact that you broke out of that and you see everything and everyone for who they are, that's what spooks them, because they're like, damn, we thought they'd never do that, basically. Like, we never expected them to actually overcome the what's the word, we never expected pile number one to actually break out of what we put them in. Okay. Oh my god, pile number one. We never actually expected that, and now they're just kind of like, well, what do we do now? Literally, what do we do now other than just be like scared of what's gonna happen next or what they're gonna do now that they've broken out of this like cage that we thought that they were gonna stay in? Like, okay, let me see pile number one. Who are you compared to how your family views you? You know, the thing is, you don't actually mean any harm to your family. Like, you don't. Okay? Sorry, I just hear a noise and I don't know what it is. Oh. Okay, anyways. The thing is, it's kind of like you're coming out of this cage, right? And you're looking around and it's not like you're mad. It's more just like you're yawning, you're stretching out, and you're like, oh gosh. And you're just looking at the world like, oh, okay, so this is how it is. And it's not even like you're focused on your family in a way. You might see them for who they are, but it's like it's not like you're evil. It's not like you don't exactly hate them. At most, you might just be a little bit like, hey, why'd you guys do that? You know, like, like, I just want to have a conversation, and then they're like, no, and then they close the door, like, she's trying to, or they're trying to hurt me, and you're just like, no, I just want answers. Like, I just want to know why you did that. Like, I don't know, like, why are they so scared of me? You know, like, oh my gosh, pile number one. It's like, it's kind of wild, but the thing is, who you actually are truly compared to how your family sees you is just someone who's tired of lies, someone who's just tired of, you know, someone who's tired of hiding and someone who's tired of people who hide. Okay, if that makes sense. And you're not really focused on your family. That's the thing. You're focused on your healing. You're not even focused on them. And the thing is, they think that you're focused on them. That's the thing. They think you're like plotting on them or something, when really you're just doing what you gotta do for you. You know? You're just doing what you gotta do for you. You're like staying in your lane and just minding your business. But they think that, like I said, like you're some big scary monster. I mean, you're just like, hey, I just want to know why you did that thing. You know, like why are you like this? You know, like, but yeah. Anyways, let's see. One last message for you, pile number one, about who you actually are compared to how your family sees you. Okay, here's the thing I'm getting here. Your family they played a part in trying to conceal your authenticity because they were like deathly afraid of your authenticity. That's the thing. I'm getting this analogy of this big, beautiful bird, right? With a bunch of colorful feathers and it just being so big and fluffy and beautiful. And it's like they tried caging this big, fluffy, beautiful bird. Because for whatever reason, they were scared of its potential or what it could do if they just let it be free. And then you broke out of the cage anyway, you know? And now you're actually the version of you that they were so terrified of. You're the version of you that was the reason why they put you in a cage. And it's like their biggest fear, right, of you being your authentic self is actually coming true, which is why they don't even want to see it. They just want to run and hide and think that you're some scary, evil monster when in reality, you're just some big, beautiful, authentic bird. You know, like, I don't know. And you're beautiful. That's the thing. You're beautiful, and that's exactly how you're meant to be. You're meant to be this big, beautiful, colorful bird. And I'm getting pile number one that you're coming into being comfortable in this authenticity, in who you're meant to be. You're like, I don't know, I'm just getting this relief from you, pile number one, about, oh, I finally get to be myself. Like, wow, I'm finally myself. Like, wow, like that cage was really cramped and uncomfortable, and now I'm free, and I've just, wow, what a relief. Like, I'm just getting someone like scratch there, like just scratch. Like you're able to reach that scratch now, you know? And you're able to stretch out and you're able to breathe. And it's like, oh man, finally I have space like to be me. And while you're just innocently, because it is an innocent thing that you're just out here stretching, you know, you're just out here actually stretching now that you're out of this cage. And it's like your family is like, oh my God, they're out of the cage. Like, oh, what are they gonna do? Oh my God, what are they gonna do? You know, and it's like, chill, dude. Like, I'm not even, I'm not even, what? Like, what are you so scared of? So, yeah, pile number one. That was your reading. That was your reading. That was some tea. I'm gonna move on to pile number two after I have my water. Pile number two, if you chose the allspice, this is your reading. So we're going to look into how does your family view you, okay? And then we're going to move on to who you actually are, okay? So let's do this. Pile number two. How does your family view you? I don't know why. I don't know. Your family... This is so different from pile number one. I don't know why I'm hearing the word pipsqueak. Pipsqueak. I'm gonna look that up right now to see what exactly that means. A person considered to be insignificant, especially because they are small or young. Okay. So, pile number two. Your family might view you as small But also, I'm getting this innocent vibe for you guys. Like, you can do no wrong or something. Let me see, pile number 2. How does your family view you? Your family might view you as shy or scared, but also kind of cute in a way. Maybe even like a pushover, okay? And even like a princess kind of vibe. Like your family might view you as like a princess, but obviously take this as it resonates. My readings are not gender specific. Okay. Okay, pile number 2. Your family might view you as, or you might be the youngest. You might actually be the youngest, or you might just have, I don't know, I'm just getting this like kind of, what is it, underestimating energy. Like your family underestimates you. Like, oh, look how cute they are. They don't know anything, or like they can't do anything, or like they can't actually do that. And it's kind of this like, what's the word, demeaning, or like belittling. Your family might belittle you, pile number 2. Like, bless their heart, you know, they actually think they can do this thing, you know, or you know, whatever it is. Like, I don't know, I'm just getting this like your family might talk down on you in order to uplift themselves. Okay, and this is actually making me angry even just talking about it right now. So pile number 2, how does your family view you? They don't want to okay, the thing is, they don't want to see you as bigger than what they have decided to see you as. They have decided to see you as a small, like a smaller person, if that makes sense. They have decided to see you as someone who is not capable. Okay, because if they were to actually see you as a capable person, if they were to actually see you for who you are, that would go against the narrative, right? Let me look into this. Okay, so pile number 2. How does your family see you? There is this codependent. I don't know why I was about to say like codifying. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but there's this codependent vibe where they want you to depend on them, pile number 2. They want you to depend on them. They need you to need them. That's the thing. They're like, you needing them satisfies something in them. Okay? Whereas if you didn't need them, and if you were capable to be, you know, on your own and be independent rather than codependent, I don't know, it would have backlash. They might even try to get you to depend on them. Like, you know, they might convince you that you need them in a way where it's like, oh no, see, you can't do this thing because you need my help doing it, kind of thing. Like, you don't know how to do this, so I'm gonna have to help you, kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, pile number 2, like, they just don't think it's possible for you to be independent or for you to do things on your own or to be an adult. Okay. let's see what else, pile number 2. And then we're going to move on to who you actually are compared to how your family views you. Okay. So, how does your family view you, pile number 2? That's the thing, they're very blindsided by the fact that you're able to do things on your own or your capabilities. They would really rather not see that about you. The only thing they really want to see is you not being able to do things and needing their help to do things, okay? If that makes sense. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're like, I don't know what it is, but it's kind of giving Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I'm not saying like, I'm just the whole dynamic, right? About her mom pretending that she was sick so that she would need her mom, or that she like needed her mom in that way. I don't know. Okay, but it is kind of giving that kind of vibe where, and even Gypsy had to pretend to be this like baby in a way. Like she had to pretend with her like high-pitched voice, like to be someone who wasn't really capable of doing certain things, where, you know, I don't know, there was just this narrative, there was this sick, twisted narrative going on here, pile number 2. Let's see, let's get any last messages about this particular question about how does your family view you? However, everything I've been saying, pile number 2, about how your family views you, it serves their own desires in some weird way, okay? It serves their whole like idea of like what family is supposed to be, or like them being a hero, or them being above you in some sort of way, or them kind of being like charitable to you in some sort of way. Like it makes them feel better about themselves for you to need them. But it's not in a good way, okay? It's not. It's like, I don't know. It's like not allowing you to actually learn. It's like, I don't know if you have like overprotective, like an overprotective family, where it's like they don't actually allow you to learn things yourself, to go out there and learn things yourself. It's kind of like they just do it for you because they assume that you can't learn yourself or something like that. Like, so you might have missed certain crucial learning experiences in your childhood, pile number 2, because it's like your family kind of took the wheel for you and steered your life for you in that way, where they were like, oh no, I'll just do it. You can't do it, so I'll just do it, you know? And they, in a way, they stole that from you, okay? Pile number 2, like your family stole your ability to learn things on your own, or to experience things on your own, to live your life independently, or like in a singular way, if that makes sense. Like you being you and living life like that. I don't know how to describe this, but like independence, a healthy independence. They kind of stole that from you in a way, okay? By just doing things for you, from the assumption that you can't do those things, okay? Or that you need them in some sort of way, okay? I feel like I'm like I'm trying not to furrow my eyebrows so much. So, Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, pal number 2, which is who actually are you compared to how your family sees you? Pile number 2, I don't know if you needed to kind of cope with their overprotectiveness by telling them, little white lies, like as a protective mechanism to protect your independence or protect your own life in a way, because there is this enmeshment, or like, you couldn't have your own life or you couldn't have your own privacy in a way. And you had to do certain things in order to protect your own privacy, in order to protect your own sense of self, aside from your family, okay? It's kind of giving like they didn't understand the concept of you being your own person aside from them. And in order to survive, right, that kind of dysfunction, you had to lie to them. Okay? And I'm not saying this is like a bad thing. I'm just kind of, this is what I'm picking up is like, you had to, for example, you had to tell them that you were at a friend's sleepover when actually you were at a party or something. I don't know, because they couldn't trust you to go to parties, or they couldn't trust you to do the things that you actually wanted to do. But that's just what I'm picking up. Okay, pal number 2. Let's see. Who actually are you compared to how your family sees you? I don't know if you learned from a young age that your family was never actually going to see you as like your own person, so you kind of just kept that from them or something, or you just kind of came to terms with that at a certain point, where you're like, "Oh, okay, they really think that I'm not capable to do things, so I'm just gonna play along," like in order to not ruffle any feathers or confuse them in some sort of way, like you played along with their narrative that you were this like needy, I don't know how to describe this, that you needed them. Okay, like you played along with this enmeshment and this narrative that you actually needed them, but actually you're like this, I don't know how to describe this. Like, I don't know if you felt guilty for actually being who you are instead of being enmeshed. Like, I don't know if this was kind of like a point of guilt for you, because maybe they made you feel guilty for actually relying on yourself in a way. Okay, pile number 2. Who actually are you compared to how your family sees you? That's the thing. Like, you're actually extremely capable of doing things on your own, and you didn't really buy into the narrative that that you're this like little helpless, needy like person, if that makes sense. You're actually a completely different person than how your family views you, okay? And it's like they're in this their own little distorted reality, It's like they have this distorted little world that they're in, that they actually see you. You know what I'm saying? Everything I've been saying, pal number 2. I don't want to like repeat myself too much, but it's like no matter how much you try to get them to see how capable you are and how you can rely on yourself and how you can be an adult, they're never gonna see that. They're not. They're not. They're too committed to this little reality they're in. You know, they're too committed to this little distorted little narrative. Okay. Let me see. So who actually are you, pile number 2, compared to how your family sees you? I am picking up this frustration for you, pile number 2, like this frustration about how your family doesn't see you clearly or accurately. I'm just picking up that, like, you already, like, I don't know, you see things, you see things, and it's like that truth was denied by your family. The truth that you see is denied by your family, and like you had to come to terms with that and just keep carrying on with never actually getting that truth validated for you. And it's like you just had to be like, okay, and keep going and just be confused by it all, and just kind of like, okay, but I'm actually independent and I'm proving them wrong, like, I don't know, pile number 2, it's like, it's kind of a trip, and it's kind of confusing, the fact that you had to pick yourself up and teach yourself your own lessons and to go out there and live your life despite that being taken from you in various instances in, I want to say, your childhood, by your parents, by your family members in some sort of way. Okay, like, you had to parent yourself in that way where you had to be that cool parent to yourself. You had to be that non-toxic parent to yourself, that non-codependent parent to yourself. You had to reparent yourself in a, I don't know how to describe this. Like, you had to pick yourself up because you realized, okay, these people are not gonna really allow me to be my own person. And so at some point you had to decide that I'm gonna be my own person, because what the actual F? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pile number 2, that was your reading. I am going to move on to pile number 3 now. I really hope this resonated. Oh gosh, I forgot to say in pile number 1 that if this did resonate with you, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, email me or search my Etsy. Okay, so yeah. Pile number 3. Let's get into it. If you chose the saffron, this is your reading. Okay, pile number 3. Let's get into how your family views you. How does your family view you, pile number 3? How does pile 3's family view them? Your family does not have a very good perception of you. Your family might view you as a menace, okay? Annoying, nasty. Your family might view you as a nasty person, okay? The thing is, your family likes to view you in a negative light in order to scapegoat you. Okay, pile number 3, you might be a family scapegoat, the family trash can, okay? I don't know, like, they love to hate you. Your family loves to hate you. Your family loves to blame you for things that are actually their fault. Your family loves to put all that responsibility on you, okay? Because it makes them feel better, and it somehow absolves them of guilt that they should actually be feeling, like shame, like healthy shame that they should actually be feeling about how I was going to say a bad word, about how crappy they are as like people, you know, like your family. The thing about it is that out of all the piles, pile number 3, your family's perception of you is extremely, extremely distorted, extremely inaccurate, extremely false compared to all the piles. Pile number 3, it's kind of wild how your family just kind of assigned you as some sort of role, and that was it. You're the role that they assigned you as, and that's it. And they're not going to see anything else, because this role is actually, the role they assigned you, pile number 3, is actually very, what's the word? Beneficial, very useful for them. Very convenient is what I want to say. Convenient. This role that they assigned you, pile number 3, is very, very, very convenient for them. It allows them not to actually take responsibility and accountability for their actions. It's actually, it's a system. It's the perfect system. Whatever role they assigned you, pile number 3, it's the perfect system for them not to take responsibility and to put all that responsibility that they should be taking onto you. It's perfect. It's the perfect system. Okay? And I'm being sarcastic, by the way. Like, obviously this is extremely toxic. Okay? Pile number 3, if you were drawn to this pile, it's extremely toxic. Okay? And if this doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate, and don't take this pile if it doesn't resonate with you. But that's just what I'm getting, pile number 3. Extremely distorted perception. Let's see, how does your family view you, pile number 3? Like, you never do anything right. It's always your fault. That you always like make mistakes, you know, like if they were to, I don't know, like that you're just like a problem, or that like you do everything wrong. Okay, I don't know, like you're wrong and you do everything wrong. Okay. Pile number 3, how does your family view you? I am getting this kind of analogy of you being this like punching bag. Okay, I'm so sorry, pile number 3, if this relates to actual like physical abuse. I'm like so sorry. But even emotionally, if that doesn't resonate, it's like I'm just seeing somebody get home from work and they just immediately start attacking you or something, or they just immediately start taking out their anger on you in some sort of way, and blaming you for like their problems, or like blaming you for something that wasn't even, you did not even do. Okay. I don't know, like, yeah. And it's just extremely distorted, pile number 3. That's the main thing, is that's the main message that's coming through here, is that everything I've just been saying, like, that's like what's coming through. So any last messages about how your family views you, pile number 3? Listen, I don't know if your family has like some sort of substance issues or like mental issues, like mental health issues that make it extremely impossible for them to like have an accurate perception of you in some sort of way, or they're just like your family is sloppy in some sort of way. That's like the word I'm getting here, is like there's something very sloppy about your family, pile number 3. Very like they weren't careful with you. They aren't careful with you. They don't handle you with care. It's kind of like you just got dragged into this like chaotic mess where you just started getting blamed for like everything. And you just had to kind of take it. And I know that's like really bad. That's like really bad. But that's just what I'm getting here. Pile number 3. How does your family view you? I just keep getting that they love to hate you. They love to blame you and they love to hate you. And I'm so sorry, pile number 3. I am so sorry for that. So we're going to move on to who you actually are compared to how your family views you, pile number 3. Who are you actually? Okay? Who actually is pile number 3 compared to how their family sees them? You're someone who has witnessed a lot. I don't know if you witnessed, I don't know, you witnessed things go down in your family. Like, you're someone who, you're innocent is also what I want to say. You're innocent. You didn't do anything. Okay, of course, like you're innocent. You didn't do anything. And also I'm seeing you actually be someone who wants to help your family. I'm seeing you be someone who actually cares, or actually does take responsibility for things that aren't your fault or aren't your things to, it's not your responsibility to take. But you learned possibly from an early age that things are just your responsibility, and so you just automatically by default just take responsibility for things that aren't even your fault. So let's see what else. Pile number 3. Who are you compared to how your family sees you? Pile number 3, you are actually a really good person. You're kind, you're empathetic, you care. You care about people. You're probably the kind of person who helps someone that you don't even know because you just see them struggling, and you being highly empathetic help that person out because you're just like that. You're just a nice, kind person like that, you know? It's not even like a question for you to be kind and for you to be caring and help people. Like, it's not even a question for you. And it's kind of like you might even assume other people are like you or have the same kind of perspective as you, where it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna like help this person or animal, right? Whatever it is, of course I'm gonna step in and help. Like, doesn't everybody? And it's like, no, you're actually you're the kind of person who actually gives a crap compared to a lot of people who don't give any. Yeah, pile number 3. You're actually a really nice person, and you wouldn't hurt a fly. You're the kind of person who wouldn't even hurt a fly, metaphorically, right? You're highly, like I said, you're highly empathetic. You're very tuned into how people feel, and this might be something that you learned in childhood. You had to, as a survival mechanism, you might have had to tune into how your family felt in order to protect yourself and anticipate abuse. Pile number 3, what's interesting is that it's like not even a question. Like when my cat meows, I just let her in. But lately I've been doing this thing where I just kind of uphold healthy boundaries with my cat and not let her in and just let her meow. But the thing is, this time I decided not to like wait the meowing out, and I just let her in. I just by default, like out of habit, just, when people need something, you're there. When people like, metaphorically, right? Like when a cat is meowing at your door, you're not gonna let the cat, like, you're not gonna, even if the cat doesn't actually need you, they just want attention, you're gonna pay attention. You're gonna give them what they want, like, I hope this makes sense. But like the thing is, there is this blur when it comes to boundaries with you. You just think that, oh yeah, I'm supposed to serve like people, like, or like a people pleaser. And this might have been something that you learned that maybe either you're unlearning or that you have to unlearn, where you expect yourself to help and serve and do things for people when actually there was no requirement for you to do that, but you might have been required to do that in your childhood. Okay, I'm just realizing I should have never let my cat in, because the thing about it is that when I do let her inside my room, she starts destroying everything I own. And what I thought was an act of kindness towards my cat turned into actually me crossing my own boundaries and allowing her to just walk all over me. So pile number 3, this might be something you might be able to relate to, where maybe you have people in your life, or you have had people in your life who you felt maybe this obligation to give your time and energy to, when really they didn't mean any good. They were kind of like my cat, where they just wanted in so that they could take and disrespect you. And this might be something that you are unlearning. You're learning to, either you're learning or you need to learn to actually have boundaries and know when to give and when to not give, and who deserves your time and who does not deserve your time, and knowing the difference between the survival mechanisms that you learned in childhood versus unlearning those survival mechanisms, so that you can just be a healthy, balanced adult, which might seem selfish to people like your family, when actually it's healthy. To healthy people, having boundaries is a healthy thing. But to toxic people, having boundaries is a personal offense to them because they can't use you. And it's really sad. And I'm sorry, pile number 3, if that's like your experience and like what you're going through. I can totally relate personally. So let's see, who are you, pile number 3, compared to how your family views you? And I keep wanting to say how your parents view you, so this might pertain to how your parents view you, okay? But who are you, pile number 3, compared to how your family views you? Pile number 3, it's not necessarily, this isn't who you actually are, but I'm more so just getting the things, basically like your trauma personality, if that makes sense. Like, I'm getting you're someone who feels a lot of shame for things that you shouldn't feel ashamed about. You're someone who takes on shame, has shame attacks very easily. You know, something very small could happen, or just something, I don't know, whatever. And it's like you'll get this shame attack. Like, really brutal. You're someone who might get really brutal shame attacks. And you'll just fall into a little shame spiral, feeling like a terrible person when you didn't do anything wrong. Like, I'm so sorry, pal number 3, because it could be really hard with these kinds of things, telling truth from lies, when your family's perception of you is this freaking distorted. It's that much harder to unlearn this distorted perception of you that you internalized and actually come out of that. And the healthy perception is so vastly different from the distorted perception. And yeah, so let me just try to pick up more. Let's see any last messages for you, pile number 3, about who are you compared to how your family sees you. Again, pile number 3, I'm getting that you're someone who does a lot for people, and you don't even have to do all that much. The thing is, like, you do so much for people. Like, you go out of your own way to help people. You go out of your own way. You stop focusing on on your own life. You stop focusing on yourself, and you immediately, narrowly focus on other people and what they need and helping them. And it's not normal. That's what I want to say, pile number 3. That's not normal. It's not good for you. And you're not actually helping those people. And I'm sorry if this sounds harsh, because I'm not the kind of reader who says things that you want me to say. I'm the kind of reader who says things you need to hear. Okay? You're not, whoever you're going out of your own way to help, they don't actually need it. And they're not actually going to benefit from that in the long run. You might just be enabling whoever that is and whoever those people are. And not only that, you're taking time away from yourself. It's like you're sacrificing yourself, you're sacrificing your own time, you're sacrificing the energy that you could be focusing on you, that you deserve to be putting towards yourself. And yeah, that's let me try to see if I have any other messages for you, pile number 3. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear, but let me see if there are any other messages for you. So who are you? Who are you, pile number 3? Truly, truly, who are you? You're just someone who cares a lot. You care a lot because you think you have to. You care way too much. You care way more than you have to care. Okay, pile number 3. So that's where I want to leave your reading. Okay, that's where I want to leave it. Okay, so if this resonated with you, go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, go ahead and email me or search my Etsy. Okay, it's TheAllieStore. Okay, and yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Mwah.